Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out squares. This is actually going to be really simple, so let's just go to the options menu. I like this menu, by the way, just overall. It moves really quickly and doesn't waste anyone's time. So, you got music credits and audio, and sound effects I should say. There, you can turn them off if you want. You've got online leaderboards for every level in the game, which is quite nice. Let's just have a look at how I did on level 20. Terribly, apparently. Compared to everyone else who's been playing. Don't I know that guy? PCHU Joy? I'm not sure. We've also got user content, which actually lets you make your own levels. And the interface works well enough for it. You just choose a grid size, use the buttons to put down your blocks, add new sub-levels, and you just do it however you see fit. Works alright. Only problem being, there's actually no way to play these levels online. You can't share them, and you can't send them to anyone else. You can't even do any of that. All you can do is publish them for yourself to play, which is a little bit disappointing, honestly. It's just... Seems like it'd be a smarter idea to actually have an online level sharer, because this game, despite the fact that it's got 90 levels, it doesn't actually have that much content to it. Like, I've currently at about the hour mark, give or take, and I'm already 40 levels in. Sure, I haven't gone 3 squares or Qs or whatever on all of these, but yeah. Thankfully, it does actually unlock a lot of levels as it goes on. I actually quite like this, because if you select the type of level you can't access yet, it just goes, nope. Which is actually kind of funny. But anyway, we're just going to go back to about, let's say, 21. So, the idea of squares is that you have a bunch of squares that you need to tap. And you have a very, very low time in which to tap them. So the game's almost like an action puzzle game. So you have to tap all the squares as fast as possible. And depending on your time, you'll get an amount of Qs or medals or bloody stars, whatever you want to call them. Because this is quite clearly a mobile port. And admittedly, when you start off, things are moving really fast, and it's a bloody cool idea for a game, honestly. It moves really quick, and it's satisfying to get a level completed, because the chances of you getting a good time on any one particular level are extremely slim without a bit of practice. So let's try that level again. See if we can get it any faster. So hear that little sound effect in the background? I'll tell you what, I'll turn the volume up just a little bit, and I'll play the level again so you can hear it properly. There, did you hear that? I'll turn it back down now. So the idea of that little sound effect, you also heard it right before I went to the try again screen. That little sound effect tells you when you've just passed the gold-silver time, so it actually gets really infuriating after a while. I think I barely just missed it there. But yeah, as you can see, what it basically just keeps you playing by virtue of infuriating you with missing the medal time. So let's go and have a go on some levels I haven't played yet, just so you can see how it works when you're playing a level fresh. Because this game can get pretty damn... This game can get pretty damn fast when you're trying to play it right off the cuff. Obviously, there's no way you're going to get really, really fast times the first time around. Obviously, it's a pretty big deal if you manage to get two Qs or whatever the bloody hell they call them. Yeah, those red squares, by the way, those are instant fails. So if you tap them, it'll immediately take you back to the the try again screen. Bugger me. So it can get really, really intense. And getting those 3 square timers is really, really satisfying. For a little while. So, there is a problem that this game has that, honestly, I didn't even think it was a problem at first. But then I experimented and I realized that not only does this problem exist, it's worse than I give it credit for. So I'm going to play, I think it was level 42? Yeah. Alright, so here's the idea. On this level, you have, just at the beginning of it, you have to be doing double taps because you're not going to get past this scene otherwise. However, I have found that there is a bug with this game, and it's a really, really unfortunate, shitty bug at the same time. I'm just going to have to move some of this shit because my desk is currently quite packed at the moment. Alright, so I'm going to set this down on the desk. This game has a problem with double taps. Sometimes it'll accept them. Sometimes it'll completely miss sometimes it'll completely miss one of your taps. Sometimes it won't recognize that you've done a tap at all. It's infuriating when it happens because it seems to be completely and utterly random. The only way you can really see, like, it's hard to do double taps with one hand, but that seems to be the only way you can really do it because it seems to be the only way you can actually get the game to recognize your double taps sometimes, and even then it doesn't work that well. It's just infuriating because if your fingers are too close to each other, the game will not recognize that you've done a double tap. And there are some levels where you have to be constantly like mashing double tap blocks, squares I should say, where it gets infuriatingly hard to do it. It's, oh man, I've screamed so much at this game, and I've only been playing it for an hour. It's horrendous at times, absolutely horrendous. This level here has given me so much trouble. Like there, I tapped twice, and neither of the taps got recognized. Not even one. It's infuriating. It feels like it shouldn't have made it out of beta testing. I'm not entirely sure how they did miss it. Maybe some of the players did notice it and just decided not to complain, but it's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it just flat out refuses to recognize that you've tapped it. Great, I have to actually pick it up for this one. Some of the squares don't actually seem to work very well towards the nature of the game at all. I mean, having ones where you have to be holding the Vita, that was a dirty trick. Having ones where you have to actually be holding the Vita in order to get both surfaces of the Vita god damn. It does like to trick you, I have to say. It seems like having to hold both surfaces of the Vita works against this game. I mean, they could have made a more interesting series of movements just by relying on the touchscreen than having to rely on the Vita's front and rear. Also of note is that there are actually squares that require you to use the... God damn it. There are actually squares that require you to use the motion sensor. And I found the motion sensor to not work until I realized that the game expects you to hold the Vita flat. So it just seems unnecessary. Like, you have to be... Not only do you have to be holding your Vita, but you have to be looking down at it in order to see where everything is. And you have to be holding it parallel to the ground so that you can use the motion sensor properly. It's actually kind of infuriating. I just think it could have worked so much better. In a level like this is a dick move when you've got like 3 cords coming out of your computer and 2 cords coming out of your Vita, but you know, you won't be working with a recording kit like I am, so it's not like that really matters. I'm not entirely sure how that was a 3-star, but alright. This is actually really infuriating. Like, you have to be moving your fingers and some oddly infuriating movements. I mean, sure, there is the dynamic where you have to try and remember just what exactly the patterns are so that you can successfully actually get them correct. Now, that's fine by me. It just doesn't work sometimes. That's just the way it is. Sometimes double taps just refuse to work, and since they refuse to work, I can't recommend this game until they patch it because that's infuriatingly bad. And I spent 15 minutes playing that one level I showed you earlier on, level 42, again and again, just making sure that they got it right. And, well, they didn't. That's pretty much all there is to say about that. God, this one is hard. damn. Admittedly, this game's got a really good tendency to make your fingers just go, what the hell? And I've almost had to resist dropping my Vita a couple of times. It's actually a really cool concept. I like the idea of it being so simple and so fast. But at the same time, it's just, when there are double taps that just don't work, it's just infuriating to me. Like, if only it worked properly. That's the problem I have with it. I mean, I've noticed that the bug tends to be really, really specific, but it'll happen a lot less often if you manage to time your fingers properly so that you don't have them both come down at the same time, but have them come down like a millisecond after each other, right? So, I'm going to skip to the next level. I'm not going to spend too long here. So, if you are capable of doing that, you'll probably have a much less of a pain in the ass time than I have with this. But for those of you who actually want the game to run properly without... God damn it. Those of you who actually want the game to run properly without having to deal with this bullshit, well, join the freaking club, and please don't buy this until they patch it. I don't know how much this is going to be when it launches, because the press email forgot to tell me that, but oh well. It'll probably be somewhere in the line of $5 to $10. If it's anything higher, I don't know who the hell they're trying to fool. I mean, even if the game, like, worked 100%, anything higher than $10 would be kind of ridiculous. But, yeah, it's just... God damn it. That was my own fault. Your fingers just go full on retarded if you're not careful in this game. It's just like, what do I do? God damn it. It's a good time. It's just... They need to fix that problem where double taps just don't get recognized sometimes. I don't know if it's the software or the hardware, but something's getting in the way. And I'm gonna say it's not the Vita, but... God, it might be the Vita's hardware just not liking this sort of game. Or it might just be my fat fingers missing the buttons every time I try, but... Honestly, I spent 10 minutes on that one level just trying to figure out what was going on. I could still... And that wasn't enough to make it go away. Like, even on just that one level. So, if they patched it to include level sharing... Excuse me. If they patched it to include level sharing and fixed that double tap bug, then it would be an outright recommend for me, because it's honestly a good time. And it really does get the blood pumping, and it is quite enjoyable when it works. But when you come into a level that requires you to tap 2 blocks at once, it'll just fall apart. Like, you even noticed it back when I did that, back when I showed off the level that I created. I swear it exists. Because I don't have the best track record when it comes to games like this. But I actually went and tested it. And it happens. It's not entirely consistent, but it does happen. Then again, maybe using 2 fingers on one hand because one finger is longer and one finger is shorter would cause you to tap it at a different time, but yeah, if they patch it to fix that problem, it would be an instant recommend. But at this point, I can't. I honestly can't. Because I know that it'll drive people absolutely fucking nuts. It'll drive them up the wall if I say go buy this without mentioning this problem and saying, this problem is big enough to make it not worth buying. Well, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the matter. This is a look at squares. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.